Good day, everyone. Today, me and James will be discussing the political self under the topic of understanding the self. We will explore how identity is formed through our values, traits, and the communities we belong to. We will also look at the strengths and weaknesses of the Filipino character and finally discuss how we can help establish a truly democratic culture. To start, let us talk about what is national identity. Often, when we talk about national identity, we think immediately about citizenship, our legal status in a country. However, as mentioned here, the Filipino identity is not static or fixed. It changes and varies depending on our personal backgrounds, where we came from, and our experiences. But despite these differences, there is one thing that unites us: a shared psychological consciousness, a deep feeling and understanding that we are Filipinos. This common bond is what defines us one nation. Now, let's look at where our culture comes from. Did you know that the Filipino culture is a beautiful blend of Eastern and Western influences? Our roots go back to our indigenous Malay heritage. According to the book, the Malay temperament is a basic foundation of the Filipino personality. It is the best described as being nice and pleasant to others. Also, the importance we place on family today actually stems from the strong Malay family clans of the past, which serve as our main source of security and support. Over history, different colonizers left their marks. When the Spaniards came, they introduced Christianity and established a Western style social and political system. Then the Americans helped shape our modern culture, most notably through the widespread use of the English language. It is from these combined influences that our unique Filipino character was formed. Although the British and the Japanese also occupied the country, they did not leave significant or lasting cultural influences on us. So, what exactly shapes who we are today? Dr. Patricia Lecuanan identifies 10 key factors, ranging from our home environment and social surroundings to our history, education, religion, and even politics and media. She explains that at home, we are taught to prioritize our family. In society, we learn to depend on one another, making us naturally group oriented. However, she also notes that because of our culture is open to foreign influences, we sometimes lack a strong sense of our own cultural core, a phenomenon known as colonial mentality, where we often prefer what is foreign over what is local. Our history, lack of strong local role models, and even mass media contribute to this. Despite these challenges, we Filipinos have seven wonderful strengths. This includes pakikipagkapwa-tao, family orientation, joy and humor, flexibility, adaptability and creativity, hard work and industry, faith and religiosity, ability to survive. So, what is pakikipagkapwa-tao? This means treating others with dignity and having that spirit of bayanihan.
While we are also known for being family oriented, having a joy and humor even in hard times, and being flexible and creative, we can just adjust to any situation and make things work with that we have.
And we are also hardworking, deeply religious, and perhaps most importantly, we Filipinos have a strong ability to survive. So a perfect example of these strengths is Virginia Jenny Cruzantos. She was born in Pasay City and educated at UST. She became a successful animator for Pixar, and she brought life to beloved characters like Dory from Finding Nemo. Her story shows our creativity, hard work, and ability to excel globally. This connects to the Filipino proverb na matutong mamaluktot habang maikli ang kumot. Learn to adapt to be resourceful even when resources are limited. This survival instinct is why Filipinos continue to thrive no matter what hard the situation may be. And that includes my part regarding the strengths of Filipino character. To discuss the other side, the weaknesses of the Filipino character, let me call on James.
Good day, everyone. So, I will be discussing the weakness of the Filipino character. Based on the study of Patricia Bilicuanan, along with its examples in how we can build a democratic culture, according to Patricia Bilicuanan, these weaknesses are certain attitudes and behaviors that can slow down our personal growth and even our country's development. Even though Filipinos are known for many positive traits, these weaknesses can still lead to problems like corruption, lack of discipline, and low participation in society. Let's now look at the different types. First is extreme personalism. This means we prioritize personal relationships over fairness. A good example of this is when a manager hires a close friend or relative even if other applicants are more qualified, which is often called the palakasan system. Second is extreme family centeredness. This means family is valued so much that the common good is sometimes ignored. A good example for this is the Duterte family in Davao City, where several family members have held positions in the government. Third is lack of discipline. This includes habits like being late or not following rules. A good example for this is Filipino time or people not following traffic rules like jaywalking. Fourth is passivity and lack of initiative. This means people depend too much on leaders instead of taking action. A good example for this is when residents complain about these dirty surroundings but do not join cleanup drive unless they are told to do so. Fifth is colonial mentality. This is the belief that foreign products or culture are better than our own. A good example for this is when people prefer imported brands and look down on locally made products. Six is kanya-kanya syndrome. This means focusing only on personal benefit instead of working together. A good example for this is in group projects where some members do not contribute but still expect the same grade. Lastly, lack of self-analysis, reflection. This means not learning from past mistakes. A good example for this is when voters continue to elect leaders with issues because they forget their past performance. Now let's move on establishing a democratic culture. Democracy is a system where people have the power to choose their leaders. However, it is not enough to just have elections. People must also be responsible, aware, and active. We can build a strong democratic culture by voting wisely, respecting human rights, following laws, and participating in community activities. A good example for this is choosing leaders based on their qualifications and platforms instead of popularity. In conclusion, these weaknesses are not only seen in others but sometimes in ourselves. By being aware of them, we can improve our actions and help build a better and more democratic society. Thank you and have a great day.